Morning, crew. Here we are, Friday, the Friday before spring break. And if I had to guess, most of you have probably read something like 17 million minutes at this point, so technically this would probably be your day off. You earned it. You earned it. We all earned it. But here we are. And I'm super excited for you to have a nice spring break. There's nothing formal for you to work on over break, at least not from me, and I don't think from any of the other teachers as well. Don't quote me on that. But I wanted to send your way just a word of encouragement over spring break, to think about something that we've talked about a lot in the class, talked about in light of quite a few things, really. And that's the idea of beauty and the importance of beauty. And I got to tell you, I feel so blessed to be out here on the farm. This is my morning view, one of many. And you can probably hear the birds in the background. It's a little cloudy, it's a little chilly. Still some steam coming out of my coffee mug there. But I was reading some poetry last night. Because I'm quite a jolly chap, and that's the sort of thing I do on a Thursday night after my kids have gone right to bed. No, I was reading some poetry because I'm having a virtual poetry gathering with some buddies of mine. Yep, we gather and we read poetry, we recite it, and we have a jolly good time. We're meeting virtually, but just reading through some poems, and I came across one that I wanted to share with you. It's one that I've read before, and it's actually one of my favorites from one of my favorite authors. And I'll take you just through my thinking about how I was going to do this, because you know me, it's always a teaching moment. Very easily, I could have just taken the book off the shelf, opened it up, and read it. Even more easy. Don't you love that? Don't tell Mrs. Whiting. I could have just pulled it up on the internet and read it off the screen, right? But there's something about making things and making beautiful things that reminds us of what it means to be human. And so, rather than just print it off or read it off the screen, or even take it off the shelf and read it out of the book itself, I thought instead, and this is something that I've started doing fairly recently. I have a writing journal where I jot ideas down and some of my drafts for poems, and when I stumble across a poem that I really like, I'll write it in here. And just because it's beautiful. So here's a couple that I wrote a while ago. One is Ozymandias by Shelley, and the other is the prologue for Romeo and Juliet. An underappreciated play, if you ask me. But the one I want to read for you is called Builders. The Builders by Longfellow, written in 1850. And I'll put an actual picture on the screen, but this is what it looks like in my journal. All right? And it's beautiful. Simple. It has 9 stanzas, and there's 5 on one side and 4 on the other side. And there was a little gap at the bottom, and so, I just drew a little sketch of some mountains, nothing super fancy. But when I look at this thing, and this prayer journal itself is actually super old. The binding is from, I got it like 20 years ago. A friend of mine had a chance to go to Florence, and I said, just get me some fine Italian leather. And so it brought me back this. So I want to read it for you. And I want you to think about where you are, your situation over break, what you might be up to, and thinking about making beautiful things. They don't have to be elaborate things, but beautiful things. And that's what this poem is about. It's called The Builders by Longfellow, 1850. All are the architects of fate, working in these walls of time, some with massive deeds and great, some with ornaments of rhyme. Nothing useless is or low, Each thing in its place is best, and what seems but idle show strengthens and supports the rest. For the structure that we raise, time is with materials filled. Our todays and yesterdays are the blocks with which we build. Truly shape and fashion these. Leave no yawning gaps between. Think not, because no man sees, such things will remain unseen. In the elder days of art, builders wrought with greatest care each minute and unseen part, for the gods see everywhere. Let us do our work as well, both the unseen and the seen. Make the house where gods may dwell, beautiful, entire, and clean. Else our lives are incomplete, standing in these walls of time, broken stairways where the feet stumble as they seek to climb. Build today's, then, strong and sure, with a firm and ample base, and ascending and secure shall tomorrow find its place. Thus alone can we attain to those turrets where the eye sees the world as one vast plain and one boundless reach of sky.
Good, Dad.
Wishing you all a wonderful spring break. Know of my prayers. Go build something beautiful, even if it's simple. And we'll see you on the other side. Peace.